Jack. All right. You got the stuff?
Yeah. All cleaned in oil.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's get it on.
Who are these guys?
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Hot damn, it's time to get down to the jam. It's time to get down, it's time to get down, it's time to get down to the jam. I said it's time to get down to the knowledge, gonna get on down with the know. On the morning coffee show, on morning coffee with Keith, here on Pop Culture Minefield.
Excuse me, can I get a cup of coffee? Black?
Can't you see we talking? White?
Good morning, everyone. Ooh, wow. What a morning, what a morning, what a morning. Hey, how are you guys?
I'm good. My computer's working just fine.
Oh, sure. Okay, fine. Go ahead. Throw that in my face.
Rub it in. Rub it in.
Wow.
This morning's tech fight brought to you by Keith.
You know, if this is the actual beginning of the robot revolution, then okay. If that's what this is, oh man, I tell you. Anyway, it's good to be back. Oh, I do enjoy doing this, so. But when I'm not doing this, I usually enjoy watching the film commentary that Martin and Anima and Gary Cassell often get into. I think yesterday you guys did Apollo 13.
Yeah, we did that one.
Good movie. Good movie.
But
Back-
I still had
Yeah, go ahead.
have to watch the 12 prior movies.
But up. Well, I gotta say, back when I had my mall job, I never actually sat down to watch the movie from beginning to end. You know, my experience with that film is basically watching it every single day, but in pieces. And,
That sounds like fun.
and then multiple times every day. Like, I can close my eyes and think about that job, and that was one of like 3 or 4 films we had in heavy rotation when I was working that job. That there are times when you love it, and there are times when you hate it, and there are times when you feel like you're apathetic towards the movie, and there are times when even just hearing Tom Hanks's voice pissed me off. Because you're playing it every day. Every day. Every day.
So which one was this you guys are talking about?
Apollo 13. I mean,
Yeah.
not Apollo 13, but yeah. Well, yeah. It basically, yes. That movie. Good night.
Right?
I tell you, that there's just too much of that movie, and I like it now. You know, a Goofy movie was also
Right.
one of the films that we had in heavy rotation, along with the Santa Claus, the first one,
Right? Oh God.
and oh God, I can quote those films, but it's like,
Oh, believe me, around Christmas, the Santa Claus goes into heavy rotation at our house.
I mean, I could see how you could use those movies as torture, and I like Tim
Right.
Allen. You know, I do like Tim Allen, but
Well,
you know when you work at a store especially a video store. And you
Mhm.
played a movie too much when, while you're working, you're basically, just sort of lip syncing with the film. You're
Right. You
yelling
can,
out different parts that you either love or hate. I cannot tell you how many times I've just yelled at, and tomorrow I'm getting a CAT scan. God, oh, geez, I love it, but I hate that movie so much. But, oh,
no, I
wow.
I understand that. See, well, I worked at a New Age bookstore
Oh,
here in town called Renaissance. Some of you may have heard of it.
yes.
Worked there for like 3 years, and we would have, this a rotation of New Age music. So yeah, but it wasn't all bad. I mean, we had like Anya and Lorena McKenna and stuff like that. So it was just Yanni that killed me. Like,
Man, I'm telling you, that could get old quick.
well, anything you do all the time, every day, is going to get pretty old pretty quick. And then it gets to the point where it becomes invisible. But
Yeah, after a while, it just fades in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's like you'll have things that you smell all the time, and then you stop smelling them.
Yeah.
That was an ability that I was grateful for when I worked on a poultry farm. So let me tell you, but I can smell eggshells.
Hold up! Wait! You can smell eggshells.
Mm-hmm. Calcium has a very distinct smell.
Calcium does have a very distinct smell.
And so yeah. So does chicken poop, but we won't get into that. Ammonia, So, but yeah, but the 90s, man.
Yeah. A lot going on, both in terms of film and television entertainment.
Right.
I gotta say, it is. I think it's pretty much a given that where we are right now in terms of our entertainment was greatly influenced by the 90s.
It was.
There are so many things, current projects tied to the 90s.
Oh, hell yeah.
And a lot of what we are currently experiencing in some way, form, or fashion is influenced by either a film or television series or a comic from this decade. To me, this is the decade that, in my opinion, pretty much set up a lot of what was really cool about the upcoming explosion of comic book movies. And at the forefront of that, in my humble opinion, was Wizard magazine. So if you really want a real time capsule to this particular decade, just pick up any copy of Wizard magazine, especially from the 90s. It's a nice time capsule of really what comics were like during that decade and all the different personalities and people connected. To me, Wizard magazine was really the beginning of understanding the business of comics and of what separated DC and Marvel from a lot of the independent and up and coming companies that publish their own comics. But also, Wizard magazine was the beginning of a television series that is still going called Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken grew out of Wizard magazine. Bet you didn't know that.
Did not know that.
Yeah, one of the people behind Robot Chicken actually was working at Wizard, and so all of their stuff. If you notice, a lot of their figures initially kind of seem toy-like, and that's because they did this thing called Twisted Toy Theater, where they took pictures of toys, and kind of like the way they do a lot of the setups and jokes in Robot Chicken started out as a series of pictures that they would pose a lot of the action figures and stuff in to make a lot of the jokes, and that's how it all started. Eventually, when Wizard went under, the people who were in charge of it eventually met up with Seth Green, and that started the ball rolling for them to just go ahead and animate everything. 90s.
Yeah.
Love it. Missed that decade. But hey, look, we have quite a few people here. First of all, the lovely Penny. Hello to you, Penny. Andy Morrow. Mr. Tom Baker. Hello. Yeah, let's see. Tom Baker says Terminator 2, Independence Day, LA Confidential, Eternal Affairs, Star Trek 1992, Wolf 7, Reservoir Dogs, Heat. Yeah. Yep.
And 1990, man, that started a lot of it. I mean, our entire lexicon comes, has one specific thing, because so I'm gonna have to do a call and response here, Keith. Maybe it's tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Kindergarten Cop, one of the came out in 1990.
That's part of that whole thing with Schwarzenegger to prove that he can do things beyond just action films, and he did. Right? I mean, between that film and Twins, I mean, he proved that he could definitely have success with really the three films, because he made Kindergarten Cop, Twins, and man, what was the other one?
Junior.
That's it. It was Junior. Yeah. That is right, Martin. Look at you, man.
However, Junior flopped badly.
It did. But
I laughed with it.
Well, a lot of the criticism was really aimed at the plot and the script, but that Schwarzenegger had good timing. I mean, that is really one of the major keys to humor. You have to have good timing. Yeah. And he proved that he did. Because without it, he never would have gone on to make things like Jingle All the Way.
Right. And he also, I think it laid the groundwork for things like Last Action Hero and True Lies. Because True Lies, while it was very serious, had its roots in comedy.
Yes. Yes,
guys. I need to see something. I'll be back.
You go ahead. We'll take care of this. Yeah, you're right. True Lies is one of my favorite Cameron films. I keep hearing rumors of a possible sequel.
Right. Well, they tried it with a TV series that I was not like. This lacks.
Yeah. You need the original actors. And,
you do, or at least build on like Eliza Dushku. You know?
Well, I don't think she's really acting anymore. I think she's out of it. I think she's, if I remember correctly,
Mm-hmm.
she is working, I want to say, in the mental health field now. So, I mean, she's taken everything that she's done in acting and just parlayed that into something different to help people. And that's cool,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
If that's where it's at for her, I'm very happy for her.
Yeah,
That
she is
doesn't mean I wouldn't mind seeing her back, you know. And if
Right?
she does come back, I think a lot more fans would be more interested in her at least making a cameo appearance in the new Buffy spinoff series than, you
Right.
know, for James Cameron, who seems to be busy making everybody into CGI aliens and stuff. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
it'd be great if he were to take some time off and do a sequel to True Lies, but you know, I think that's asking a bit much for right now.
Yeah.
But again, this wasn't just, you know, the decade of just that. I mean, when you really look at it, you know, the 90s could have easily have been more of what we had in the 80s.
Yeah.
But it was different. It was its own thing because there were so many things happening at once, so many genres that either were launched and or were just going on. And it was just an incredible decade of just so many different things. And at the beginning, again, speaking of Schwarzenegger, you had Total Recall.
Right. Yeah. You had Total Recall, you know, and Kindergarten Cop this, you know, in the same year.
Yeah.
I mean, he was everywhere.
Yeah. It's again, for those that, you know, for whatever reason, either are too young or whatever, you got to understand Schwarzenegger was about as big as one could be. And for a guy that started out with, you know, in the 1970s with Hercules in New York and and having his voice dubbed. That's the other thing. Not only did he make a movie where he was Hercules, they dubbed his voice.
Right. That's the one that really well. And then who can forget that masterpiece, The Villain?
Yes. Yes. Oh man.
Where he played Handsome Stranger. Why?
Yes.
My mother said that was my father's name.
Kirk Douglas. So you got to love the dude.
Oh, Kirk Douglas said he ate that scenery. He ate every scene he was in.
Yes.
He didn't steal it. He chewed it up and spit it out and spit out the bones.
Wow.
But yeah, that's 79. But yeah, 90, 91. I mean, we get, because he was in what? God, looking at his filmography. Hang on. In 91, he is in, so 90, he's in Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, 91, Terminator 2. Then he shows up in 93, 94, True Lies, 96. I mean, he's just like had a movie coming out every year.
Yeah.
You know, through the night, almost every year through the night. You never did not see his name, you know, out there. And that was, I think, a very, you know, yeah, he was basically riding that wave as hard as he could. You know.
Yeah. But it's again, he had to.
Yeah, he had to. I mean,
because without it, I don't think really things are the way they are right now. I think to me, if you had to pick three actors that really helped to define genre films of the 90s, one of your three is definitely well. Let's just go. If you decide to have your Mount Rushmore
Mhm. Of the 90s.
of the 90s, as far as people who were actually responsible, Schwarzenegger is definitely a part of that.
Yeah, he's the George Washington on that one because he just basically defined the 90s in terms of action films. And the 90s in action films, oh my God. Oh, I'm thinking of Commando.
Yeah.
The scene where, he's fighting, I can't remember who it is, and they're just exchanging, and you've got the actress there who's going, God, I cannot believe this macho bullshit. I mean, it was the most self-aware movie that at the time, and I was just like, because Radon Chong as the girl, it was just, she was just hilarious. She
was.
I don't know, I don't know if she meant to be, meant to be funny, but she was just great.
Yeah. Well, but also there were a few. I mean, we really can't go through the 1990 itself without at least mentioning some of the quote unquote old business. I mean, you have Back to the Future Part 3, and after the first, well, really after the last one. Which is Part 2 that came out the year before, a few months before, I should say. It was important that they ended strong. I think they ended strong.
I think they did too.
Being the third movie of the series.
Die
Hard 2 was also the same year, and that started a different kind of formula. Instead of taking what they had done in the first movie and using those characters, they did sort of like the same thing they did in creating all of that. Die Hard's actually based on a book,
which I have read. Is very different than the original.
Yeah, it's very different. Well, it turns out that when they decided to do a sequel, they based Die Hard 2 on a different book. They went out and bought another book
from the same author.
Or a completely different author. What they did was they bought the book's rights in order to use the actual story, but to use the characters that they had from Die Hard in place of a lot of the characters and stuff in the stories.
Interesting.
Basically, Die Hard is the only film series where almost every entry is actually based on material from someone else that has been altered to fit the series.
Fit the franchise.
They did that too with Cloverfield.
Oh, true. They did do that. But since that's tied to JJ, I don't count it. Anyway. I kid, JJ. I kid. I still love you. I do. I still love you.
Right.
But
search your feelings, and you know that to be untrue.
Search your feelings. No, I am the director.
But
so yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, what I was going to say is I think every single Die Hard film was actually that's exactly what they did. At least for the first three, they were all materials bought in service to the actual whole. They were all started out as different projects with different characters. Die Hard 3 was actually the hottest unproduced script in Hollywood. Every studio liked it. It made I think it made what they call the blacklist. Popular, really high-ranking scripts that nobody, for whatever reason, wanted to make.
Right.
And the Die Hard producers got it and bought it and changed it and turned it into a Die Hard film.
Right. So, and and here's the thing, looking at the guy who writes things, I can imagine me going, "You're turning this into a Die Hard film? How much is the check?" Okay.
Yep. I think it was called the original script was called Simple Simon.
Huh. But yeah,
So-
I mean, we also get Dances with Wolves, which is like Costner. Costner's another one of those guys who is like all over. His fingerprints are
Yes.
all over the 90s. That's
Yeah,
when,
the 90s
that's when
was
he
his
started.
decade.
Yeah, that was his character with no name era.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I mean,
I
he
mean-
plays so many Dances with Wolves, but The Postman and Waterworld,
Yeah. Well-
that was I think he was following Clint Eastwood.
In a way. Well, the thing about it is, Dances with Wolves in that particular case was really, it was the case of a script that was turned
Mhm.
into a book, then
Mhm.
turned back into a script in order to make it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so Costner's instincts were dead on.
Mhm.
He knew what he had. He knew the author.
Oh
And
yeah.
made this incredible film that is still one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, yeah.
With music that some of the best film music ever
Mhm.
made.
Oh
for
yeah.
that film.
Well,
And,
he won. I mean, he took Golden Globe for Best Film and Best Director.
yes,
He took the Golden Globe for the Academy Award for Best Film, Best Director.
yes.
You
Well, he
know?
earned it. He earned
Yeah, earned the hell out
it.
of
You
that.
know,
Yeah.
it is just again. I love that movie. Love
Mhm.
it.
Oh,
And then you have
He took the
for
I mean, he-
many other people. I mean, you
Mhm.
know, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Which again, to be fair, I was never the biggest fan of the Hollywood version of the Turtles. So I
Mhm.
mean, you know, there are people that look back very nostalgically to that movie. I think it's
Mhm.
all right. I didn't hate it. I thought it was all right. I'm more of a
Right.
fan of the original comic book version of the characters.
Same. I mean, that
And-
was one of my introductions to indie comics was the Ninja Turtles. But the thing that I dug about TMNT, the original,
Yeah.
was that it called back to the imagery of the original comics.
Yeah.
There are scenes that were just lifted. You could lay a frame from that scene side by side with a scene from the comics, and it evokes the same. It evokes the same thing, the same emotions. Of course, they made changes, but I think also this is where we see what Ernie Reyes Jr. Starting to get into Hollywood in that film.
Yeah.
Um,
And again, it's a good movie. It's from the Henson people.
mhm.
And pretty much, I think Disney was originally trying to make it, and then they decided to pull out. And another company came along, picked it up, and put it out, and made all that money.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. Took every
sometimes-
penny of it,
yeah. Sometimes success is all about timing.
right?
Flatliners, another
Mhm.
film from 1990. Arachnophobia, which continued the whole line of Steven Spielberg produced films. The incredible Quigley Down Under.
God, yes.
Yeah, that is a fantastic film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's such an understated and I think underrated film.
Criminally.
If there is one movie that definitely proves that it was really about the kinds of projects you have Tom Selleck in
Mhm.
versus, trying to be all splashy and everything, this is it. This is it. Look at that cast. Look at how that Oh, the entire movie is just great.
Oh
And
yeah.
it plays to everything great about Tom Selleck as a lead actor. I wish more
Mhm.
filmmakers had figured that out. There's a
Oh
way
yeah.
to use him, and it's not always about it being a Western. It's just how you use him.
Oh yeah.
Uh, com- severely underrated, underused actor.
Yeah. And
But
I mean,
but you balance that with Young Guns too.
mhm.
And just for the sake, there's still talk of Young Guns 3, people.
Really?
They're still talking about it. They look. I'm telling you right now, Emilio Estevez seems to be serious.
Yeah, but
He seems like he really wants this to happen.
and how are they're gonna call it all guns? Because they are all of them are old.
Well, but technically it fits in with the story. It really does fit in with the story. If you're one of the people that actually believe that he was never killed, then you can make that part of the story. Now you also basically Young Guns 2, they took a lot of liberties with how certain people died. Okay. And at least two of the characters that you assumed had died didn't really die. And one that you assumed died, at the end of the movie when they were talking about what actually happened to everybody. Turns out that particular death, I think, was to happen many, 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 many years later and not immediately after.
Right.
So that's how they're going to play it. And so as of right now, you're looking at Lou Diamond Phillips will be joining along with Christian Slater. And they will be with Emilio Estevez in Young Guns 3. So it looks like they're going to do it, and it looks like John Bon Jovi's coming back. So
did he ever go away?
Yeah, they're gonna do this. They're more power to them. It sounds like I'm making fun of them, but I'm not. More power to them. All the luck in the world on that one.
Right.
Predator 2. I thought Predator 2 was an all right movie. Didn't love it. I thought it was all it was a major recap of the first film, just done in an urban setting. That's really the thing that killed me with that film. It's the same film, just done in an urban setting. If you had never seen Predator and you went and saw this movie, I could see you going, that's the greatest thing in the world. But if you saw the first movie like I did, it was like I'm sitting there going, hey, why don't you do this? Okay, you're making the same mistakes. Okay.
I don't know. Predator 2 has very nice things and very
there are things in it. Yes.
And very shitty things. It's the thing that bothered me about this is the most. Oh my god, I cannot English today. The thing that bothered me the most is that it's so caricaturesque. Oh man,
It's a what?
Caricaturesque.
Okay.
It's a caricature of the characters are caricatures of.
Okay.
And I didn't like it. I didn't like. Hartigan was cranked to 12 all the time. I didn't like that.
Right.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Predator 2 was basically Murtaugh versus Predator.
Basically, I mean that's your big difference. That's your big difference. But all the rest of it is pretty much just like you saw the first movie, you knew what the Predator was going to do. You knew what he was going to do.
Right.
However, he's going to do this.
My favorite thing in the whole movie was, of course, Gary Busey.
Yeah.
His character. I like his that unhinged governmental agent.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, well, and the Predator itself. But man, I don't know. It felt it was a letdown to me.
Right.
I still watch it. Unlike that piece of crap, B Predator. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
won't watch that ever again.
Tell us how you really feel, Martin.
Oh.
Don't sugarcoat it, okay?
No, if I were to do that, we will lose the channel instantly. So no.
Right.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but yeah, but getting back, I mean, it's that Selleck. He did some good stuff in the 90s, but he just kind of, you know, I mean, he stole In and Out from Kevin Kline.
Yeah, he did. He did. He stole that movie. Kevin Kline put
And he
all
did
that
it-
work into it.
And he did it in 12 seconds.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. That scene right there stole the movie. And it's like, oh my God.
Come on, enlighten
Right.
me. Don't be selfish. Explain it to me.
Okay,
You've
so
never-
in In and Out,
wait,
have you
wait.
seen it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
have you seen it?
In and Out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin
Uh,
Kline, he plays a high school drama teacher.
And
Oh,
one
yeah,
of his
yeah.
ex-students wins the Academy Award.
Yes, I saw it. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
well, it's towards the end of the movie. Tom Selleck's character, Kevin Kline's character, you know the scene we're talking about towards the end of the film?
Where he
I
convinces him that he convinces him he's gay by kissing him for 12 seconds straight on screen. And just it completely he completely steals the movie from him in that particular moment.
Yeah. Kevin Kline putting in all that work, doing all the acting. He's the lead of the movie, and it takes Tom Selleck 12 seconds to steal it from him. And it's just like, oh
Takes
my
every
God.
minute of it, right?
Because I remember the first time I saw that movie and that scene happened, and even I'm like, oh my God.
Whoa. Right?
I mean, look, it just, the thing about Tom Selleck is he was the model of macho in the 80s, and to see him do that was a complete surprise.
Right?
And I was just sitting there going, what am I watching?
What did he just do?
Then again, I have to be fair. It was kind of the same, not the same reaction, but it was kind of the same effect that the movie SOB had on me. You know, I mean, I'm watching this really cool comedy, and right when you don't expect it, Julie Andrews is topless. And it's just, oh!
Right? Wow, wait, when did that happen? Yeah.
It's like, that's nice. I know it's Mary Poppins, but that's nice.
Yeah.
I could stand to see a little more of that.
Right? Let's see that happen again.
What happened to that
Suddenly-
version of Mary Poppins?
Right? Mary Poppins, yeah. It's like Mary Pop out.
And literally she does. I mean, she's the one that has to take off her top in the movie, and she just does it. She just takes it right off. And I noticed though, she does it, the camera lingers there for like 1, 2, 3, and then it's over. And it's like, so 12 seconds on a kiss versus only seeing Julie Andrews for like 4 or 5 seconds. And it's just like, yeah, it's not fair.
Oh my God, Tom.
Well, but then that's where Julie Andrews becomes Miss Freeze Frame for that particular year.
And I don't know how you define flat chested, but you probably need to watch that movie again, because that's not what I saw.
Right?
I saw a very healthy woman. Uh, again, she wasn't busting out all over, but she was far
Right.
from flat chested.
Yeah.
But you know, to each his own. You know, and then of course, you know, we have Gremlins 2,
Right.
which was a fun movie. That is a fun follow up to the first film, and from what I can tell, there's still a lot of loose talk about doing another one, but loose talk. And I wouldn't mind seeing another one, but I think a lot of things are going to have to come together in order to get to there. So I think there's a list of things that have to happen. Godfather 3, not everybody's favorite, but I like the movie.
Me too.
It would Winona Ryder have been better in the film? Yes, but she wasn't there, and Coppola decided to put his daughter in there. I didn't think she did a horrible job. Okay,
Right.
but there was definitely an imbalance there in her scenes with pretty much everybody, but especially with Andy Garcia. Her scenes with Andy Garcia, you could definitely tell that these two aren't in the same league together. You know,
Right.
but then again, how things ended up for her is good. She ended up as a director anyway. But I think putting herself out there like that and starring in a movie that a lot of people got a chance to see, and it's very controversial to have her in that part.
Right.
You know, then again, if you're a Godfather fan, you at least want to see this movie. I'm interested in the next book in the series that was put out, and if whether or not they're getting around to making another one.
Right.
If Coppola himself has any interest in doing one more film, trust me, all he needs to say is Godfather 4. I think he can get everything he wants for that, and I think Andy Garcia would be tempted to come back. So. And then, you know, back into the heart of the genre here, Nightbreed, which for the longest time, I will continue to say, this was the film that made me believe that we were going to definitely get an X-Men movie in my lifetime. The opening of that film, where you're seeing all the scenes, and there was one actor with this really dark face that the makeup was just phenomenal. And I thought, that's Nightcrawler right there. It's like if you could make somebody look like Nightcrawler, yeah, we're definitely getting an X-Men movie, you know.
Right.
But again, Nightbreed, one of those films that incredible music by Danny Elfman, and just great cast, great story. Definitely something that I think there's been talk of doing like a television series version. I'm not opposed to it, as long as you have it being done by people who are actually fans of the film and not people who find a reason to not be fans of it but still want to do something kind of I have no interest in that if that's really the direction you're going to go with it. Of course, the one movie that a lot of young ladies really liked, which still seems kind of odd to me considering what it's about, Pretty Woman. I get it. It's a great cast, great chemistry, but hey, remember what she does for a living.
Right. Well, but the excuse on it, as I recall, was that she had just started. But I mean, this is a this is a My Fair Lady type situation almost. She's
it's really the prince. It's really Cinderella. It's a retelling of Cinderella.
Yeah,
but it's like, hey, what if Cinderella was
was a
walking
hooker.
the streets,
Oh,
walking the streets for money.
Yeah, but yeah, no, completely romanticizes being, that particular role for like, nah. It's one of the ones I never watched.
Yeah.
So
I did, and again, it wasn't a bad movie. I just couldn't get
Right.
past the fact that a lot of young ladies just seem to really, it's the greatest movie ever made. Like, you do realize what her job is, right? I mean, I'm not trying to be the bad guy here. I'm just saying. Anybody?
Yeah, you realize what we're right. So oddly, 1990 is also when we get the first iteration of Handmaid's Tale.
Yes.
Probably not the best version of it, but which we're still seeing out there today.
Well,
but,
I mean,
yeah,
it again, it's important, and really, Hollywood really makes its bones and had made its bones really on adaptations of popular novels and plays.
right.
Awakenings, a movie that came out that year. Quick Change, a movie that came out that year. I think The Grifters, a slight adaptation of something that already existed, which is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. And Guildenstern, I'm sorry. And of course, the aforementioned Total Recall, and Misery, all are literary adaptations. I was never sure. I don't remember if Jacob's Ladder was, but that was the movie that was completely and utterly ruined for me. Ruined, Brian, ruined, because somebody said the wrong thing in class. They gave away the twist in class. They said it out loud, and it's like I could have backhanded that person.
Spoilers, right?
I mean, that's a big thing with me. But I want to at least.
Yes, Tom, it is. Is it still the 90s? Yes.
No, the 90s, but he's asking for this precise year. No, we're being jumping around the
right.
Well, we're about to end 1990. We're about to move on.
Right.
I just wanted to say this last thing though. There were two films that I really, 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 really loved from this decade because of the effect that it would have on the business. Okay. Tremors proved that you could do some amazing things with a great cast and a really cool concept. It's very 50-ish in its story, modern for the time, and you had an incredible cast, and it proved that it made me a fan of Reba McEntire's as an actress rather than just a performer. Michael Gross playing her husband.
Yes, Burt Gummer, who ends up carrying the rest of that series.
Yeah, I choose not to think about anything after this movie, but Tremors in and of itself was a nice throwback movie and was way cheaper than a lot of other movies. The other one is, to me, probably one of the most influential films, not only of this decade, but really of the latter half of the 20th century. And that's La Femme Nikita.
Yes. Oh, man.
Everything about this movie, from its look to its story to the way the action is filmed, it changed everything. And when you look at where action movies would eventually go to, especially by the time you get to films like The Matrix, you can't deny that Luc Besson did not have an effect on the making of action films. There were action movies before La Femme Nikita. Okay? As, again, as played out the way that we talked about Schwarzenegger and Stallone and all those. But it's look at action movies after La Femme Nikita. Look at the way they are filmed and the fact that you're not just talking somebody just pointing a camera and catching some action. It's an art. It's almost like it's a living piece of artwork, what you're looking and enjoying with that film. And La Femme Nikita, for all those who have never seen it, you should check it out sometime. It's an incredible film. One of my favorites from Luc Besson. So there you go. Okay, now we're moving to 1991. I'm sorry. I'm having some fun. Anyway, let's also at least add in, let's also say that a lot of films ended up having a great effect on really fashion and on music. The look of some of these films and the immediate way that it would play out to how fans responded. When you get to something like Terminator 2 Judgment Day, how the shades, the glasses that the Terminator wore in that film, much like what happened with the first film, how they became really popular. And then you find out how much money those glasses are actually, how much would you buy your own pair?
Right. Well, in T2, there was a whole thing about the sunglasses because the ones that Arnold wanted are the ones that actually, oh God, I know her name and now I cannot think of it. Sarah Connor. The ones that Sarah Connor, yeah. Right. So there's an action.
Yeah.
The ones Sarah Connor ends up wearing
Linda
are the
Hamilton.
ones that Linda Hamilton, thank you. Linda Hamilton ends up wearing, are the ones Arnold wanted, but they wouldn't fit his damn face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, those were I think the most iconic of that whole, of that particular one.
Yeah.
At least to me.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day is an iconic film mainly for a lot of different reasons. To me, it's the proper end to that story because none of the other movies that came after are, in my opinion, worth anything. It's Terminator and Terminator 2, and that's as far as I take the story.
I think that should have been the official end of that particular timeline.
Yeah. I give a lot of credit though to all the people that made the other films, but Terminator 3 is nothing more than just an action fest for the stunt people, and Terminator 4, well, the less said the better. But
but T2, the T2 did so much. So I mean, they're because they every moment of action has a purpose. It has a there are stakes involved other than how many things can we blow up, and how many rounds per minute can we how many squibs can we use. It's like, somebody has stock in the squib industry or what?
Yeah, okay. But, I have to admit that there was a lot of that used, but it had a purpose.
Right, but that's the thing is in T2, every action scene, just like in T1, because in T1 and T2, the action scenes had stakes. There was desperation involved. And it just, the bike jump scene, and that whole chase with the semi, and just like, it it was good action storytelling, not just good
Yes.
action.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And more credit to James Cameron and the crew for that one, but especially James Cameron, because you have to be an artist in order to balance all of that and to understand, you know, that it is an art form to make those kinds of films. I mean, you can just point a camera and just, okay, let's make an action movie and show people getting shot and all this other stuff. Or you can be an artist. And that's exactly what James Cameron is.
Yeah, I mean, because and looking at just at the character of the Terminator in the two films, you get two different creatures. Because in the Terminator, in the first one, you're seeing this thing growing into a better hunter, into a better killer. You know, you seeing how it works. In T2, you see it become an actual person.
Yeah. Of a sense, it's still a machine, but it is learning. It's learning.
It is learning. Yeah, and you know, and learns to sacrifice, learns the the meaning of sacrifice, and it is just like that's flipping amazing. You don't get that so much. But yeah, you have Cameron is one of the big directors of that era. Him and Luc Besson, who we talked about earlier, just the work they did in the 90s, just it gave us some of our best stars. It gave us, they gave us like some of the most iconic films of that era. They also Besson jump-started oh God, why can I not name today?
Well, Luc Besson, given like Angel A, also The Family is a good one.
The Professionals,
Professional, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Gave us, oh God, what all did he give us? Because I mean, the two that really start with my, is of course Fifth Element and The Professional, and La Femme Nikita. But yeah, what else did he do? The Messenger in 99. Atlantis, did he do? Okay, it's not the one I thought. Yeah. I was like, I saw Atlantis on there, I was like, that's not, oh yeah. But I mean, he put in what? I mean, he made 4 or 5 films in the 90s, and just, he's still a name.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. Fantastic job. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Let me catch up here. There we go. Let's see. Tom Baker says, I loved Robert Patrick. Stopped and looked at that silver showroom dummy like it was his kind.
Right. God.
That's a good scene.
Right. That looked like it almost like it was like poser.
Oh, and Tom, hey, good one, Tom. I skipped right over that. I haven't gotten to it yet. We will talk about The Rocketeer. Yes.
Oh yes. Yeah. God, yeah, it was a good movie.
And then Real Popcorn Geek. It's a shame what James Cameron has become. I don't mind James Cameron. I mean, again, it's his own personal life and views and everything else. I don't look to James Cameron for his advice or views on things. I just, I pay money to buy a ticket and I want to be entertained. And if you can entertain me, I'm cool with it. I mean, there have been a lot of people that have said things in recent years that I don't agree with on many different subjects, and I can still at least enjoy their artistic output. So, let me at least also make sure to highlight this particular film. Like I said, 90s, there's a lot of films and stuff that were pretty much important to everything that came after. And personally, Point Break by Catherine Bigelow, aka the former Miss James Cameron, because she was his wife after his first wife. So and I always thought, man, those two really matched well together. Both of them directors, both of them just ass kickers, you know. But Point Break being such an influential film, influential, you may ask. Well, yeah, it was good enough to be revived a decade later, but instead of surfing, it was with cars.
Fast and Furious.
And that's exactly what it is. It's the Fast and Furious, kids. You know, I mean, okay, yeah, okay. Keanu Reeves playing Johnny Utah. Okay, yeah, okay. There are people that get into that. And there's definitely people that are into Patrick Swayze's Bodhi, of course, you know, Gary Busey, Lori Petty, John C. McGinley. I mean, it's a great cast.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
Lori Petty.
Yeah, Lori Petty.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's I'm sorry. Ever since Fast and Furious came out, that's all I could think of was Point Break. It took me a while to come to that. You know, but I was watching like the third film, and it just sort of hit me. It's just like, wait a minute. This is Point Break.
Yep.
Right.
So, but again, that's just the way my twisted brain works.
Mad Mardigan refers to Point Break as a truly gay movie. It's about man love.
Yeah, but at least you don't see one guy giving another guy a full on the lips kiss for 12 seconds.
That or handies, you know.
Wow. Wow. Hey Gary, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm the Terminator.
Oh, hello,
I'm the T800 2.0.
2.0. Okay. Well,
the T802.
Hey, back in those days, the T800 could only be updated by 8 floppies.
Oh man,
I miss the 80s and those floppies. Don't you?
Right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh,
it was really funny. You know, we still call them floppies, even though they're the hard shell plastic.
Yeah.
Right. It's because it's a floppy disk inside.
And
floppy inside. But it was really weird because I remember floppies. And it's like, why are we calling these floppies? Well, the floppy's inside. Yeah, but it's got a hard outer shell. Like, should we stop calling it floppies? No.
Say if the T800 can only be updated by floppies, well they make things for that.
I remember one time doing an update, and I had gone away for a minute and came back, and I didn't put the floppy in a timely manner, and I had to restart the whole thing all over again.
Oh,
Who misses that?
Oh, geez.
Who misses that?
No. Yeah, no.
Well,
man, my first computer was a Tandy. How about you guys?
Oh, jeez.
Okay. My first computer was an IBM.
What year?
Without a mouse. Oh God, it was when I was still in high school, 84, 85.
485.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mine was going to be the Commodore 64. But
that is I ended up getting one of those later. I inherited it actually from my stepdad.
Yeah.
And because he didn't know how to operate it, and I went, I'll figure it out for you. And then he never asked for it back. So I'm like, okay, I got it.
The first one that I used was the Commodore 64, but my first computer was an Epson. I think it was an Abacus.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I remember getting an Apple computer. Next. Yeah. And I got that right around 1991, I think. I was in the Army. And we also, because my wife at the time, she had a computer already. And boy, oh boy, I tell people, do you remember fucking DOS? Having to do everything through DOS?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
God.
like,
I remember having to program in DOS.
Yeah, it's like I had a writing program, and you could only use it when the floppy was in.
Right?
You had to go into it, and oh man, I don't miss those days, guys.
Yeah, I don't. When the screen was either green or amber.
Oh yeah, mine was green. Mine was green. I remember that, and by God, I don't miss that. And and I think back, man, these things are going to take over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first video game was the IBM Flight Simulator.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I got a picture of the model of my first computer. Was this one? It was an Apex, not an Abacus, an Apex.
Apex. Okay.
Yeah, and
that looks so much like ours. Yeah.
And it run at the incredible speed of 8 megahertz.
When 256 kilobytes was a lot of memory, and then suddenly they went to 512, and it's like who's gonna use 256K?
I used to, and it's really weird. I used to use my computer just for writing, and I did a lot of writing back in the 80s and 90s. And but my first video game that I played on our home PC was back in 1991. I got a copy of Predator 2. And I remember putting that on the computer and playing the shit out of it.
Right?
That was great.
God, yeah. So it wasn't in 91 when I first got to SMSU that I finally got my hands on a good word processor program. And oh my God, it changed my writing.
What was that Elf Quest game from the 80s?
Elf Quest. Are you talking?
It was like you went through
Bard?
dungeons. You went through dungeons and shit, and you had to find stuff. It was a great game. I can't remember the name of it. And my buddy Brian, he had it on his. He had a Commodore, and we would go over to his house and play that game on his computer. Good God, that game was like time consuming.
Yeah. Well, I think. Hang on, just a second. I don't know. I know Sid Meier's Pirates ate up huge chunks of my time because that one first came out in '87.
Man, I remember Pirates. Jeez.
Right? You can get it now on I think on Steam.
It was Gauntlet. Was it Gauntlet?
Gauntlet. So Gauntlet was an arcade game. There was an arcade game.
Not in. I'm looking at the names of games. I just remember, damn it, Elf Quest.
Well, Elf Quest I know Elf Quest is a comic. I didn't think it had ever made it into.
No, Elf involved Quest game is what I'm asking. Not Elf
Quest. Okay. As to say, it's like those two are different. But
let me take Elf out of there because it's really having a problem with the word elf.
Right. Suddenly it's trying to throw you into a 90s comic book.
Yeah. RPG, because it was an RPG too.
Yeah.
King's Quest? Is it that one? I just remember going through dungeons and shit and go through.
You sure it wasn't an adaptation of Thieves World?
And it was, you're looking down on it. It was, It
was isometric. Yeah.
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 And I just remember playing that game in his room. and they would get high. Okay, I didn't get high. I would be like straight, and they'd be like going, man, how long have we been playing? I'm like, we've been playing for fucking 8 hours. They're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, really, because I felt every fucking hour because I'm not high.
Wow.
Oh man.
You know,
I just stopped in to say hi to you fuckers. So I saw you were streaming, and I thought I would cross the stream and jump in to say hi to you, Martin, and Ben.
Well, thank you.
Good morning,
while
Dave.
I've had a chance to talk to you.
Good morning, buddy.
I probably need to talk to you later once I'm done streaming.
About
got something to talk to you about after I'm done with the show.
As long as it's not black stuff, because I get so bored with your black stories.
Oh man, come on, one more, just one more.
Yeah, one time we went to a party and I just walked out with a lamp going, do something. By the way, that's a true story. That's a true story.
So yeah, no.
Hey, before I go, I got to tell you, Scott got a hold of me yesterday.
Oh,
and he says, "Hey man, I'm at work right now, but apparently there's a check for you at the house." I'm like, "A check from who?"
Some Czechoslovakian dude shows up,
and he goes, "Well, she says it looks like a check," and I'm like, "I don't know." So he gets home and he calls me, video calls me, and he says, and he shows me it is a check from somebody, some company, not somebody, but some company up in Salt Lake City, and I'm assuming this has to do with my music, and they sent me a check, a printed check through the mail system for 49 cents.
What? Oh, you better get that check, mate.
I told him, I told him, tear it up, burn it, whatever you want to. That wasn't even worth the postage. Like, that's just stupid. Why would you send a 49? And the only thing I can think of is it has to be related somehow to my Cone's Ghost music, that somewhere along the line, instead of paying me electronically, they wanted to pay me with a check and send it to me for 49 cents for a download. Like, fuck off with that.
Right?
That definitely points in the wrong place.
So that was my phone call, video call from Scott yesterday.
Wow.
So
I need
worth
to get
it.
a hold of him anyway.
Yeah, I want to get him back on the show every once in a while. I miss him.
Yeah.
Well, practice will fix that.
It's always nice when people call you and me loud, Keith. When people call you and me loud, you and I can always say, "You've not met Scott yet." We're not loud. Scott is like bounding versions of us. He is so much louder than you and me. You can hear you and I if we're speaking at a convention from across the building.
Yeah,
you can be all the way to the other side and you can hear you and me. But if Scott talks at a convention, you jump because you think he's next to you, and he's actually all the way across the hall.
Yeah,
he's that fucking loud. I love the guy.
I know a couple people like that. I know a couple people like that.
Well, you know Scott, Ben. You know Scott. He's the announcer for VisionCon.
Yes, I know Scott. I've heard his voice.
My God, that guy booms. He booms. And I remember when they put you and me, Keith, right next to the hall, and he was announcing all fucking day long, and you and I turned to the VisionCon people going, "Please don't put us here again."
Yeah,
we can't hear anybody talking to us. We can't hear.
Yeah, they put us in the entertainment room, in the room with all of the guests and everything that were on stage, and we were like, "What are we doing in here? We should be with the rest of the vendors. We
belong over there." So we took an empty booth and went and did some interviews. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. We just took over a booth, but hey, they weren't there. They weren't there.
Right?
They weren't there. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to fuck off. Good seeing you guys. Good seeing you, Ben. Get with me later, Keith, with
You got
whatever it is you have to talk to me about.
Okay.
And Martin, I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, boss.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
You know, to wrap up 1991, I got to say, look, there was nothing like The Rocketeer. I will always tell people to read the original comics and enjoy that. Disney did as good of a job as Disney could do. But their plans for the quote unquote sequel / kids version was just dumb. It's the dumbest idea I've ever seen.
And you know, how can we have 90 go through 91 without talking about the Addams Family?
Oh, of course. I was going to bring those up too. Addams Family was fantastic. Great adaptation of that comic strip by Charles Addams. I also enjoyed let's see, I enjoyed well, look, for that entire year, there was one movie that truly just stood out to me. I liked all the others, trust me. Loved all the others. But there was one film that stood out to me, and that was The Fisher King. Academy Award-winning film that year. And I got to say that what Robin Williams did with that role, just, I mean, wow. And you got to remember, that's the same year as Hook.
Right?
Both movies are really good, but The Fisher King is just a way better movie. Jeff Bridges, Robin Williams, they had this sort of, they had a natural chemistry about them. But Robin Williams' role and what he had to convey. Oh, jeez. I love that movie. That is one of my all-time favorites. And it's a good film, but it's a good film that has to go through a lot of tragic elements to get there. And again, I will always tell people, if I could ever make up my mind about my top 10 all-time definitive film list, The Fisher King is on there somewhere. Of course, Thelma and Louise. Another movie that just sort of redefined everything. The Doors. Backdraft. Really good Ron Howard film. New Jack City. New Jack City was a film that pretty much defined a lot of crime dramas and TV shows for the next 10 years after. Hot Shots Part 2. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Naked Gun 2.5.
Right.
My Girl. Soap Dish. Soap Dish was a really well-made ensemble comedy. Okay. Everybody was really good in that film. And I caught myself watching that about a year ago. It just happened to be on. And it was one of those things where I thought, I'll just watch a scene or two. I finished the movie. It was just that good. I don't think this is everybody's cup of tea, but it's I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed the cast.
Right.
And then you have Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh, sorry. No, and we got all the. I want to harken back to one that stood out for me in the 90s.
Yes, yeah.
It was actually in 1990. It was Christian Slater's "Pump Up the Volume."
Yes.
Forgot that, and I was like, I looked for it for the minute. It took me a hot minute to remember because all I remember is pirate radio. But talking about the Fisher King reminds me a lot of the same premise of Pump Up the Volume.
Yeah.
And it was, just, but yeah, that was one of my personal faves of the 90s.
Yeah. Well, it's a good movie. And to really wrap up this particular year, outside of Boys in the Hood, which great, and JFK, which again, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I really enjoyed that film. The two films that I really want to highlight are first and foremost, I wanted to highlight The Silence of the Lambs, because again, that film just, wow. The thing about that movie for me was the fact that I think it was almost the year before. No, it was that same year. You had the Academy Awards, and they had Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins gave out. They were presenters together. They had the two of them presenting an award, and I always thought it was kind of weird that, a year later they would be back on that stage for the movie that they were together.
That they were in, right?
Because they were currently filming that when they did the Academy Awards together. And then the following year, they were back up on that stage because they had done such an excellent job with that movie.
One year they're giving them out, the next year they're getting them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a great film, great movie. And then, of course, I have to say this because it was such a good movie, in my opinion. But Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. Great way of ending the original adventures of the original Enterprise crew, and so much so that Kevin Feige, a big fan of that particular film, and he was able to show it by ripping off how they ended Endgame. So he admitted to it, and he's like, "Yeah, of course I took that." So. But that's 1991, kids. And if you get a chance, watch. Let me also shout out the movie The Commitments, because people forget how good that movie is. That is an incredible film. It still holds up. The actors from that film who had to get together and basically become a band, they actually toured. In fact, they did a reunion a few years back where they all reunited and played together. But the first book of a trilogy of novels that they adapted, unfortunately, they decided not to pursue it. I think they ended up making films out of two of the three novels, and they never really got the original actors back to make sure that you understood that it was all part of the same universe. That is just, a trilogy of books about these people. And so that kind of ruined it there. But The Commitments, great film. Check it out sometime. Okay. 1992. Well, 92. Yeah, 92. That year that comes after 91. That's Reservoir Dogs. That's A Few Good Men. That's The Player. That's Malcolm X. That's Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. That's A League of Their Own. That's The Muppet Christmas Carol. Scent of a Woman. Patriot Games, and I think the definitive film of that year, non-genre, but the definitive film, the film that everybody was talking about that year, was The Crying Game.
Yeah.
I mean, you were talking about it whether you wanted to admit it or not. And for those who have never seen The Crying Game, well, nowadays a lot of younger people is like, "What's the big deal?" But to those of us a little older, it's like, "It's a big deal." That's not a little bit of a big deal.
Oh, so yeah.
I mean, that's one of those films. It's like, yeah, about that. Bob Roberts, and of course, films like I think it was Under Siege, Far and Away, like Water for Chocolate, School Ties, Of Mice and Men. But for the genre films of that year, Death Becomes Her, which has turned into a little bit of a cult classic there. Candyman, classic horror film. Took them a few years to make a sequel to. And then you had Patriot Games, which was this. It was filmed as a sequel to The Hunt for Red October, even though it's based on the book that actually came before The Hunt for Red October. I never forgave them for doing that. I know they wanted Harrison Ford, but I just thought, man, you guys could have found another way of telling this story instead of making it a sequel, because you ruined so much stuff in making it a sequel and making Jack a little older. And then Chaplin, which is probably one of the best biographical films I've ever seen. Robert Downey Jr. definitely deserved the Academy Award, in my opinion, for his performance in that film. If you really wanted to know what kept Hollywood and certain people in it basically on his side, willing to give him chances, this shows you the depth of his talent, Robert Downey Jr., in that movie. And his recording of the song Smile is very well done. He's got a very good voice. Let's see, Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Second of the Michael Keaton Batman films.
The one that gave us they gave us Catwoman.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Yeah.
And of course you have Disney's Aladdin, which is my favorite of the 90s Disney animated films.
Oh God. Yeah. And I get Robin Williams.
Oh geez. Oh man. I'm telling you.
that man, Disney's animators must have gone, oh fuck, not Williams, please, anybody but Williams. Normally we could give them the script, and then no, there's no script, we just go with whatever Robin does. How are we supposed to do this?
And of course, Army of Darkness.
Yes.
Really, really well done film. Now, I forgot to talk about it previously, but 1990 was the year of Darkman, and that was really a modified script.
Yeah,
that was a modified script, and what I mean is, the script for Darkman didn't start out as Darkman. What Sam Raimi had done was that Sam Raimi wanted to make The Shadow. And when the studio picked when the studio picked Russell Mulcahy's Shadow instead of his, he decided to go ahead and use the script and turn it into Darkman.
Right.
And filming the whole thing in Australia, he was able to save a lot of money at that time, because had they made that in New York, uber expensive. But Darkman, really, really good film. Definitely one of the classics, genre classics of the 90s, as Army of Darkness itself is. And, of course, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me also is. But really, the film of that year for me was Bram Stoker's Dracula. Phenomenal movie. Just a phenomenal film. And that's all that can be said. It's just incredible. Yeah, Real Popcorn Geek. A lot of really good ones. Hard Boiled with Chow Yun Fat. Oh, Gambit. Yeah. And Tom Baker. Malcolm X. Denzel. Of course.
Oh.
And then, of course, Real Popcorn Geek. El Mariachi. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yes.
And that's the end of the movie discussion, because I predict from now on we're gonna talk about Buffy.
We don't have to talk about Buffy. We don't have to talk about Buffy today. No. We can save it. We can save it.
We don't talk about Buffy.
But I will say this. To anyone out there that is actually working on Kurtzman track as a writer, you're an idiot if you don't hand in your resignation right now and try to get a job writing for Buffy. Because I'm telling you right now, you're an idiot to work for people that basically want you to write for Buffy by writing it as Star Trek. You're an idiot. Part of the reason why recent Star Trek's not any good, because you keep writing it as if it's something different rather than writing Star Trek. Trust me, you don't want to be there any longer working under Goldsman or Kurtzman. Just dust off your resume and get a job writing for the new Buffy series. You will be a lot happier. Trust me.
Believe me, I wish I could get a job writing for the new Buffy series.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do. And you can see that watching Strange New Worlds. That's pretty much the entire writing staff. They want to write for Buffy. I say leave. Go write for Buffy. What are you doing writing for this? There is a new Buffy series on the way. What are you doing sitting around writing for Alex Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman?
Right.
You're not doing yourself any favors. You want to write for Buffy? Write for Buffy. So that's just my thing.
Right.
But and that's 1992. So then we go to 1993. And that in and of itself is a fun year. Why? Well, let me just say it right off the bat. It's called Jurassic Park, kids.
Must go faster. Jeff Goldblum just ate that movie. I mean, it's just.
If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. All of us that had kids or raised kids, that one movie is it. Dinosaurs. That's an instant win. I mean, yeah. Hollywood was still adapting old TV shows. And by old, I do mean old. But, hey, come on. The Fugitive was a good movie. And it's an Academy Award-winning film. But it's still Jurassic Park. Come on. I mean.
Well, again, we get Robin Williams, that Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
And I mean,
The Firm, Sleepless in Seattle, In the Line of Fire,
Schindler's List. Yeah.
I was gonna use Schindler's List for last, because you want to build up the Schindler's List.
This is true.
Both movies came out, in the same year, and Spielberg somehow did both. I still to this day can't even begin to tell you how someone could actually pull that off.
Right.
Going from making Jurassic Park, which did require a lot of imagination, to making something like Schindler's List.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't easy for him. And speaking of Robin Williams, that's part of the reason why Steven Spielberg was able to pull through in making Schindler's List, because of Robin Williams, who would call him up and try to make him laugh. Especially those days when they were filming in the concentration camps, where they were using the actual places.
Right.
God. I don't even think Robin Williams would have been able to help me. I'd still be in therapy.
Yeah. Right. God. But having Robin Williams call you up to make you laugh is like, I mean, that's like that's like comedic crack.
Yeah, yeah. But
know?
you're standing there and you're
Mhm.
making this movie and doing these things, and especially where real people were. And I just don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you are standing in the midst of something terrible, just unimaginable suffering, and so yeah, only Robin Williams could make someone laugh after that day.
True. True.
Because he is, and yeah, Robin Williams in this Doubtfire again. Robin Williams is like a scriptwriter's nightmare. Because the man cannot adhere to a freaking script to save his or anyone else's life. But
yeah,
the world is a better place for that.
yeah, but still, it's
oh man, yeah.
But you also had that same year, Falling Down, which I think has even gained in popularity in the years since. There's a segment of really of people out there who just truly identify with the message of that film.
Mm-hmm.
It's both disturbing and kind of cool at the same time, but very disturbing.
Right.
And then you have one of my it's, how do I put this? It's not that I hate it. It's just that why? Point of No Return, which at that time truly illustrated how far behind Hollywood was.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's La Femme Nikita. It's not a secret. It's a remake of La Femme Nikita. And it's a shot-for-shot remake of La Femme Nikita. They were literally matching the shots from the original to this movie. And I saw it. It's one thing to even have the original director work with you on something, but there's a lot to be said for casting actors who feel right in the story. That movie's always felt a little off to me because it is a remake. They would have been better off just spending more money advertising the original movie and putting that back out in theaters. Than doing something quote unquote wholly new based on the idea that we Americans really can't sit down to watch any French movies like that. We'll just have to make an American version. Oh man, you idiots. Oh geez, you idiots. And again, I love Bridget Fonda. I don't blame her or any member of the cast. It's just it's a dumb idea.
Right.
Just a dumb idea. Let's see. That's all I can think of, short of mentioning one of my all-time favorite off-color comedies, which is CB4 from Chris Rock. And that's all I'm going to say about that movie. I love it, but that's all I'm going to say about that movie because I don't want to try to quote anything because, I don't try to have that kind of show. But CB4 is one of my favorites. My brothers and I love to quote that film whenever we're together. So,
right.
But yeah. Anyway, we go to 1994. Now, 1994 is a very interesting year. Why is it an interesting year? Because there are a whole lot of films released this year, in that year, I should say, that are films that have gone on to just be inspiring to so many people. I could name all of these big films, and they're films that a lot of you have already seen and really enjoy. I mean, really enjoy. Starting with The Shawshank Redemption. You know?
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction. Forrest Gump. The Lion King. True Lies. Dumb and Dumber. Speed. And of course, Leon, the Professional.
Professional. Which really just kickstarted Jean Reno's career.
Yeah.
You know,
made him an international star is what that
exactly.
Is. Yeah.
And was my first time I saw Natalie Portman in anything.
Yes.
You know, which I mean, God, that was such a nuanced performance from her. You know, that just and you know, for an actress that young, it was just like going, damn. Because you watch it years later on, you're going, dang, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But yeah, Jean Reno and Gary Oldman's, you know, those two in that film are just like, they're like mirror opposites of each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have like the same level of intensity, just focused in such different ways.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, and True Lies, I think is one of Schwarzenegger's, Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, Eliza Dushku, you know, and Bill Pullman as the used car dealer.
Yeah.
I mean, or is it Paxton? I can't remember which one.
Bill Paxton.
Paxton. I knew it was a Bill, but yeah. I'm Navalent. You know that.
I think that was his third film with Schwarzenegger.
I bet it
was.
No,
that was his second film with Schwarzenegger. Second film with Schwarzenegger.
First one was Terminator.
First one was Terminator. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah. I haven't even gotten the full list of movies because you still have Natural Born Killers.
Mm-hmm.
Ace Ventura,
right?
Which again,
Ace
really
Ventura
funny movie.
Year? Yeah, because it's the same year as The Mask came out.
Yeah. Let's see. Then you have Legends of the Fall, Four Weddings and a Funeral, which is just a phenomenal film.
Yeah.
And then you have one of my all-time favorites, Wyatt Earp.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because while Tombstone, a lot of people love that film, and I think Tombstone's a good movie. I prefer Wyatt Earp because I liked the cast, and I thought that Dennis Quaid definitely deserved the Academy Award for Doc Holliday.
Yeah,
you know, he not only gave a slightly better performance, but he gave the medically correct performance. Somebody, in fact, they had somebody on set who actually knew what the disease does and knew what stage it was for his character to be able to portray it correctly and not just look like he's got water on his face and he sweat profusely.
Right.
Again, nothing against Val Kilmer at all. Val Kilmer is just, the guy was just a total, the guy was amazing. But I just thought that Dennis Quaid did a slightly better job and was a little more committed in so much as that he decided to actually lose the weight. You know, he lost, I mean, half his body weight almost to do that.
Jeez.
I mean, when you type, Google Dennis Quaid, Wyatt Earp, trust me, look at that. This looks like a guy that's about ready to die. And that's exactly the way that disease is. You waste away. You don't look like you're kind of bloated in the face.
Right.
It's a disease that will make you waste away. and just it's aggressive is what it is. But also, you know, Gene Hackman playing the dad and gives this great piece of advice to his family, and it sets the tone for the rest of the film, you know. But yeah, one of my all-time favorites. And then, you know, because of working in the video store, Muriel's Wedding, which is an Australian comedy film that a lot of the ladies back then really enjoyed. I think you can enjoy it now, you know. But along with Four Weddings and a Funeral, which again was one of my favorites of the decade. Good movie. If there was ever a cast that you could actually buy were actually friends, that they were the characters that they said they were, this is that film. Four Weddings and a Funeral. God, I love this movie. Great script. And I don't think Hugh Grant was ever better beyond this film. You know, I mean, he obviously did other roles, he's done other things, but I think this really is the tip-top best. You know, Andy McDowell, just John Hannah, everybody was just incredible in this movie. Mike Newell directed his arse out with this film. So, but I know that's not genre. There is a film that I really like, genre film that I like from this year, and that was Star Trek Generations. And that's because it's not the best script. Okay.
Yeah.
I fully admit that. It is not the best script. But I will take this to my grave arguing that it is the best looking out of all of the Next Generation Star Trek films. It is the best looking out of all those movies. The cinematography is just freaking incredible.
I have to go with oh my God, First Contact.
First Contact's a good. No. I enjoyed.
No. We're talking about the visuals.
Visually.
Yeah.
First
I will go with First Contact before
the reason why
Generation.
The reason why I go with Generations is that Generations really was the template for how you can film Star Trek as a television show from here on out. You know, you look at where modern Trek is, they took a lot of cues from this movie, you know, because you were dealing with conceivably the same ship.
Right.
And how they lit everything was amazing. You know?
Yeah, I mean, overall appearance, I think, you know, or presentation, I gotta give it to Generations between the two of them. Now, visual like design and setup, I freaking loved First Contact.
Yeah. First Contact, because it's an all new ship. You've never seen it before. After 7 years of watching the Next Generation crew,
watching the D,
it was being
Rising.
it was being on board the Enterprise, this set that we all grew with and watched these characters, and to see it the way it was presented, and it's like, wow, I could do another 7 years on here. You know, the look of that set and the look of the way they lit everything. And here's the other thing. A lot of, you know, I've had people go, well, you know, that's because they just took their set and they just relit it. No, they had to build a brand new set for the movie. They literally had to build a brand new set for the film. And so some of it was stuff left over from the show, but the actual bridge they had to rebuild from scratch because of the way they had constructed everything originally. And it just wasn't set up to be filmed as a feature. It
right, with in movie.
Yeah. And so they built everything, and then they added on what for us is a new set. but we can assume had always been there, which is stellar cartography, which is a great scene with Picard and Data. And but the way they made 10 Forward look, and just the entire, I mean, yeah, another 7 seasons, easy.
Right?
Look at the way they lit that set. And then when you watch the show again, I get kind of disappointed because it doesn't look the way it looks in Generations.
Right? Well, yeah, and I'm thinking, I remember it right. It's like, this is revolting. I hate this. Another one? Yes, please.
I mean, you know, again, it's not a perfect script, and a lot of people have I have problems with the film.
Yeah, I mean, I had some certain problems with the script, but yeah,
I still enjoy it. To me, this is my Christmas film. I enjoy watching this movie at Christmas. Yeah. But I also know that negotiating behind the scenes, I know why Leonard Nimoy decided not to appear in the film. And the thing is, Nimoy was correct. You know, if they had written a better film, he probably would have been in it. But they couldn't figure out a way to do it. You know, and you had you had one really good writer and his co-writer who wrote their asses off, wrote their backsides off in order to put this together with a lot of pressure from Rick Berman in the studio. That's the other thing. You can't just come down on the writers. You had to understand that the studio and Rick Berman required a lot of this script, and they basically, according to Ronald D. Moore, they were pretty much under pressure to get this right. They didn't have any they didn't have any downtime. They literally went from working on the final episode to the two of them being locked in a room to write the script for Generations.
Right.
And so they did the best they could with the time they had and the pressure that they had, which again, I give them credit for, but overall it's not a, you know, I think First Contact is a better script.
I would have to agree with that.
And better, it was better visually, but that was because the setting was different. You had a different kind of ship that was made for the kind of plot that you had in this film.
Yeah, it really was.
Go ahead.
Well, and First Contact changed the visual for the uniforms, the phaser rifles, the ship.
Yeah,
you know,
the ship was different.
Yeah, the E. This is the first time we see the E, which is a beautiful ship. I was never as big a fan of the E, but the E, my God, that is a freaking Enterprise.
Yeah, that is a warship, a real warship.
No. If we're gonna talk Trek, and you will talk a real warship, you're talking the Akira class.
See, and we can have those.
We have that kind of nerdy.
I don't know. The repeated torpedo fire. That's hard to beat.
Well,
that's what the Akira class is made for. You
know what was really amazing though, when discussing this year and looking back at both, you know, First Contact, but also Generations. What really got me was that you had a film like Stargate come out of nowhere and just totally, just took everybody's breath away. I think the film was cheaper than Generations. And you had a story and a script that was very original. Unfortunately, in my opinion, they messed up in the funding of the movie.
Stargate?
In Stargate.
Yeah.
The problem with Stargate, the problem that eventually became a problem for Stargate was in their financing. The thing that allowed them basically, as Mr. Rhythm in DC Cab said, that which makes you will also break you. He was completely correct when it came to this movie. It's an original film. You had a great cast. Unfortunately, the financing, which allowed them to make the movie, ultimately was their undoing. Because you had, I think, somewhere around 10 or 11 producers attached to the film.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that means everybody had a financial, made a financial investment in the movie. That means all of these people had a claim on the movie.
Right. They had their fingers in that pie.
And so that's the real reason why they never made a sequel. Because you would have had to have gotten all of those producers to agree.
Yeah. And there was actually a sequel novelization done.
Yes, there were three.
Yeah.
And
I like that universe.
Some of it wound up as inspiration for, well, one of the books wound up as an inspiration for what they eventually did in the Stargate series. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
In order to get the rights to do the television series, it only took 3 of the producers.
Right.
Out of the 11, 3 came together to give the studio permission to do it.
Yeah. Well, and bear in mind too, Stargate was, I think, Jay Davidson, who played Dill in the Crying Game.
Yes.
I think it was his last or next to last. Their last or next to last.
Next to last.
Next to last, because I think they had one more before they retired.
Yes.
And you know, to get that character was amazing. Just the way, you know, to get Jay, you know, and basically meet that fee was, you know, it was Jay's final big film, you know.
It was just a fun movie, and when you hear about how they filmed it,
mm-hmm.
and for the ultimate look of the film and everything else, I mean, it looked way more expensive than it actually was. And on the big screen, it played out as big as any other big studio film, but it wasn't a typical big studio film. It was made cheaper,
right?
And I often say, you know, it is possible to have a film made cheaper that matches up with any studio movie.
Yeah,
you know, you just need to take the time to do it and to write something that is original, and people will enjoy it. And a lot of people enjoyed Stargate. You know, of course, it helps when you have someone like Kurt Russell in the film, because Kurt Russell kicked all kinds of ass. Nothing against anybody associated with the TV show, but it's Kurt Russell, people. It's Kurt Russell.
I mean, Kurt Russell's chin kicked all kinds of ass. Because in that one, Kurt Russell was like 90% chin. You know?
It's total badass, and that's just a phenomenal actor. And again, you know, it really is about how much you're able to pay the man. I seriously believe, because ultimately, I mean, look at what he was able to do with Fast and Furious. So he's done 2 Fast and Furious movies. You know?
Yeah.
And they couldn't get him in a Stargate sequel? Are you kidding me? Well, there you go. That's the real reason. They
could pay
it on the cheap. Yeah, no, the movie was done on the cheap. And you know, you can't easily get these producers to agree.
Right.
And so it's one of those things where it's not quite impossible, but it is highly unlikely that you're ever going to get all of those producers to agree in order to do a sequel.
Right.
I'm sorry to say, you're never really going to get a sequel to the film. So that means the television universe interpretation will be the dominant interpretation from here on out.
Right.
So,
well, and of course, I don't know. I loved Spader's interpretation on Jackson.
Yes,
leaving coffee cups just laying around, which Michael Shanks picked up quite well in SG-1. But yeah, I mean Spader's version of I mean that was they did so much so good with that movie.
Yes. It again, it's just I own a copy of it, love it. It just looks good. It's a good looking movie. It still amazes me every time I see it, that it's a much cheaper movie than a lot of these other films.
Right.
But that also brings me to Clerks, which also came out that same year.
Oh, damn, yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Smith's introduction is Big Hello. And again, it's a good film. He took what he was able to do best, which is write, and just made this movie about all these characters and basically started what is lovingly called the View Askew-averse. And again, it all started from this one black and white film.
Right.
So again, I lovingly own a copy of it and enjoy watching Clerks too. I mean Clerks as well. So and I think
well, and of course, yeah. Now, have we done all the movies for this year? Because there's one that, even though I was not a big fan, I had to watch simply because of its impact in a different genre.
Actually, there is one more movie.
Okay.
One more movie. And that is The Shadow. Russell Mulcahy's. Yeah, I did refer to it because this is the one that the studio went with rather than going with the Sam Raimi one. But I like this movie. Now, is it a good movie? Is it a good movie? But it had a lot of really cool concepts in it that I really, really liked.
Right. Mentally, I'm very well endowed.
It had a lot of cool lines.
Right. It had Tim Curry. I mean, come on. And John Lone, American bourbon, I've got a taste. I'll pay it.
It is a movie that again, not perfect.
Right.
This is from the director of Highlander. Come on.
Yeah, no. Well, the thing is they hit all the things that they hit all the things of the period, because when you're talking about The Shadow, you're talking about a hero that first showed up in pulps and in radio. And trying to recapture that is one of the things I think they did very well with this movie.
Yes. And again, a movie whose cast: Alec Baldwin, John Lone, Penelope Ann Miller, Peter Boyle, Ian McKellen, Tim Curry, Jonathan Winters, James Hong. I mean, I really do eyes. It's just...
Yeah, no, it's
and Ethan Phillips. I mean, oh wow! It's just it's a movie that
Real Popcorn Geek. I agree. Margot Lane is Lois Lane's ancestor.
I look. I know it's not the most well-liked film. I know it's not even close to being the exact adaptation, but I really like the movie. Is it a good movie? No, but I like the movie a lot. I wouldn't have minded to see a sequel. I like the fact that you could have the hotel that's hidden from everybody in town. Or I mean, I like that. It's just everything about it.
Right.
I love the music. Go ahead.
Well, and they expand on one of the abilities that he uses. He does a lot of what he does through mind control and suggestion.
Yes.
You'll forget about the shadow. You won't start this.
Yeah, it's a really. I love the movie,
Mhm.
and to me, I think this was the second film I ever saw Ian McKellen in prior to him being an X-Men and Lord of the Rings. Uh, uh, I think the first film I saw him in was The Keep. That was The Keep. Yeah, The
Oh,
Keep
that
was
goes
the first
back.
film I saw him in.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed him in this movie too. I mean, he makes a really good absent-minded scientist.
Right. And and you don't, in my head, it's like I had to mentally remember that this is, Professor Lane, not Magneto.
Yeah.
Seeing him playing
Well,
Magneto, later on is just like,
well,
yeah.
here's my thing also
Mhm.
about this.
Mhm.
He's really good in this movie, but he is 1,000 times better in The Keep.
Yeah.
Because when you see him in The Keep, you don't have to do that. You just have to keep reminding yourself that this is the actor who would eventually play Magneto. You got to keep telling yourself that.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I had to do. Is because I cannot reconcile those two immediately.
Yeah, when you first see him in The Keep, it's acting that allows him to do what he does, but he physically transforms his body in the movie. It's not a special effect. There's no prosthetics or anything. It's acting. He transforms his body to over the course of the film. And so when you first see him in the film, you have to really look at him to really think, I know that guy. That's Ian McKellen.
Right.
But hello.
Yeah. Well, I can still hear you.
Oh. You just got to really, work at it. But that's a really good actor there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is, and Ian McKellen is freaking top notch.
Yeah. And so there's a reason why you could see him years later getting cast as Magneto.
Right.
But, wow.
No kidding.
But again, I own this movie too. And I want to apologize for it. It's just I enjoy it.
I
enjoy the character, and it probably should have been a television show, but I enjoy.
Oh, it so could have, yeah. And comparing this to the Phantom, later on, there's almost no. The two are fairly well done. I like the period, nature of them, but this to me is the like you said, some fantastic concepts.
Yes, this is one that had to be told on sets. And now think of it, and that's the other thing about this movie. This is pretty much set. There's no outdoor filming really at all, with the exception of the beginning of the film.
Right.
But, I mean, this is all on set.
Right.
So, set design, decoration, costumes, the whole 9 yards. Just think of what they could do with the volume now, with something like this. This would be a television series to go completely volume, because you could save so much. Now, again, if you got the money, I'd say, given a choice between the two, I personally would rather go with sets. But
there's something to be said with actually interacting with the set the way it looks.
Yes.
As opposed to trying to imagine what it's going to look like when you're interacting with a ball, or something like that. But it's but I think it could have been done so much better with modern FX, with current FX. But yeah, it was a very good it was a very good representation of that particular art, that particular time, that particular property, of the Shadow. The way they changed his face, and the sound in it was just spectacular. You knew what was going on. It just it was great.
Yeah, it was just I could see somebody come out, go along and doing a Shadow television series.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
that would this. I think this entire concept would be best explored as a television series rather than the film.
Agreed. Oh my god, the things you come up with in that world.
The Phantom, though, the Phantom, in my opinion, is the James Bond of pulp heroes. He's someone that could travel anywhere. And so you would need to have his adventures on the big screen because he needs to be able to go anywhere he needs to go in order to fight really
Pirates.
evil.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pirates mainly, but to fight evil. And so I think that if they had had more money for the Phantom, it probably would have been a better movie because a lot of their outdoor scenes, they tried doing it with a mixture of just a lot of location and sets.
Yeah.
And I understand why they did that. But if you're going to do that, you need to have the money to do it. And it didn't look like they had all the money that they needed for that film. That's the reason why I think that film fell short.
It lacked lacked certain things in there. Although Treat Williams as the villain in that one, he lacked the threat that John Lone brought to it. He was
cartoonish. They made him cartoonish. There was no difference in how he was in the early part of the movie versus how he is in the latter half of the film. The thing about being the villain is that you have to, just like with a hero, you have to show different gears.
Right. You have to you have to show them evolve into their final form, as it were.
Yes. You need to have, you get first gear, second gear, third gear. And oh, go ahead.
Well, and Treat Williams' villainy seemed so casual compared to Lone's, just basically intensity, when he came into it. And he just really,
Hey, Tom Baker. I agree with you, Tom Baker. I think Sam Raimi's Shadow would have been better because of what he brought to it. He was a fan. He was a fan. In fact, I'll even go you one better. I think Sam Raimi was a much bigger fan of the Shadow than he ever was of Spider-Man.
Right.
So I think it really hurt him not to make that movie, to get passed over, basically.
Right.
I think he would have done an incredible job if they had given him the budget that they gave to the other film and allowed him to make the Shadow rather than with the producers and Russell Mulcahy. But it is what it is. I still think that though there's room for Sam Raimi. I think if they did a Shadow television series, if somebody were to announce it tomorrow with Sam Raimi heading up the whole thing, I'd say take my money.
Right? I'd say, where's the Kickstarter?
Yeah. You've already sold me. You just tell me.
You put the words Sam Raimi and the Shadow on the same project.
Yeah. You just tell me what streaming service and I'm there.
I will subscribe for that alone.
Yes, just for that one thing. Right. That's how much I think he was into it.
Right.
Because when you think about how he dresses on set and his personality and everything, I think the Shadow really was very, very, very close to his heart.
Yeah.
And I think it really hurt him not to be able to do it.
Right.
It is and Real Popcorn Geek, you're right. The pulp heroes need to make a comeback. Then again, I've been saying that about DC and Marvel. And I think DC is a lot closer to being able to do this, which is you have a rich history of multiple characters spanning decades.
Mm-hmm.
If you only focus in on a certain group of characters that have only come out within a 10-year period, you are doing yourself a great disservice. Marvel superhero films are very, very damaged right now.
Mm-hmm.
If Kevin Feige were to somehow be relieved of his job and somebody else come in who isn't connected to what Feige has done, and if he had full control from Disney to do what needs to be done, I would go ahead and fire Louis Esposito and a lot of the people that they've hired, and I would put in my own people, and I would start in with a lot of the Marvel comics that were non-superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do, because Warner Brothers has been doing it for decades. You know, look at all of the DC comic book films that they've made. How many of them are superhero films and how many are non-superhero films? Warner Brothers didn't care. If it was DC, they adapted it and they treated it like they did. And so in doing that, they have managed to create 3 distinct types of DC films. You have your DC superhero films, you got your DC spy films and action films, and then you've got your one Western, and then Supernatural. But that's more than what Marvel's done. All of Marvel's stuff seems to be filtered through just doing superhero comics. You got to remember, Marvel didn't just do superhero comic books; they did others. But you're never going to learn that with the current way things are.
Right.
And when the other shoe drops, and trust me, it will, for Marvel, that's what they really, really need to understand. Your future will lie in how much of your past you are willing to dive into, because that seems to be what James Gunn is all about. That's what he's doing with DC. That's the reason why he made the movie Superman how he made it. Now, I'm not agreeing with everything he did with that movie, because there's stuff he did in that film I don't think I would have done. But I get what he's doing, and I get what he tried to do with Marvel. And given what Beau DeMayo has talked about, I give James Gunn a lot of credit for surviving as long as he did. You know,
right? Yeah.
A lot of names have been named, and there were people named that I actually had a tiny bit of respect for. Now that I'm able to see how they actually are behind the scenes, and some of the words they've had for us fans, my response is F those people.
Right.
Okay, you're gonna get yours. You know, people are gonna leave because if you're not gonna respect us, if you don't want us, we will not show up.
Right. If we're not welcome, we're not going to be there.
And they've shown that they don't like us. They really look down on us. Oh, that's how you think? After all the money we've given, that's fine.
Right. Yeah. Hey, guess what? The golden goose is leaving the coop.
You know what? I can just as easily go to Warner Brothers. They're willing to take my money. So I'm willing to give it. And they don't look down their nose at me. So, and
a lot of it, if you respect the fans, it shows up in the work.
That's right.
But one film I wanted to, if we covered what we need to for this, I wanted to bring back to focus on, not so much because I like it, but because of its impact, and that was Interview with a Vampire.
Yes.
Bear in mind, this is done in 94 based on a book that came out 18 years prior.
Yeah.
Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire came out in 76. But this movie simply just blew up the careers of Tom Cruise and
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, and this is I think that movie alone set the tone for a lot of vampire fiction afterward.
It did, but it was also a missed opportunity. And,
I mean, I agree there, but where are you seeing the miss for the opportunity?
The missed opportunity is given what the next book was.
Mm-hmm.
They should have, instead of doing what they did for the quote unquote sequel, what they should have done was just gone ahead and adapted the Vampire Lestat. Why? Because you could have combined two genres that not many people were seeing could be combined. And you would have done it well before anybody else realized what you were doing and done it comfortably. Now, Queen of the Dam came out in 2002. Okay. So basically you started they kept it on the shelf. So they were doing about 99, 2000. Okay. By then, she had already written the Vampire Lestat. So you're telling me you read it with everything they had in that book, knowing that they are doing a Lord of the Rings movie, knowing that Harry Potter's on the way,
right?
And you couldn't bring yourself to do the Vampire Lestat, which, in my opinion, if you took what Peter Jackson did and what they were able to do, what Chris Columbus did with Harry Potter, you combine all that and put vampires in it, that's the Vampire Lestat.
Yeah.
And you could have easily have made 3 movies out of just that one book, given the time period and the story that covers. For those of you out there who have never read the Vampire Lestat, get on it. Okay? It is a very well-written book. And in fact, I am still amazed to this day how many people have never read the book, don't know what's in the book, and don't realize the twist of that book and what it means to the overall story that they tell with all the vampire books, which is Louis lied. That's the twist. Louis lied. That's what you realize after all is said and done. You've gone through the first book, you've watched the movie. Guess what? He lied to you. He lied to you. You know, so I'm not saying that Tom Cruise could have played the character in a film that big, but you probably would have been. It would have been easier to convince Tom Cruise to make a movie like that, considering he made Legend and everything else. But also, he's a big fantasy guy. He said so himself in the commentary for Legend. His father was an actual fantasy reader and fan, and a lot of what Tom did was because of stuff that his father was into. And I think his father had passed away prior to production. And I think the same thing happened for Ridley Scott going into that film. So 2 of them were suffering going into that movie. And I think I think they could have pulled something off that would still be talked about to this day because of the contents of what the story of the Vampire Lestat was.
Right.
And it helps you to understand what Queen of the Damned, why the character Lestat is the way he is by the time you get to Queen of the Damned.
Right.
You know, you're missing all of that with that film, which is really combining 2 other books together. But the mistake was they should have made the Vampire Lestat. They should have. That's also the big mistake with the TV version of Interview with the Vampire. You know, it's big. It's big. You could easily do a Game of Thrones style television series with the Vampire Lestat and covered many generations of. It's kind of like if somebody took vampires, but cloaked it. Well, decided to put, we're going to add a little bit of Tolkien in here
Mm-hmm.
Going to add a little bit of Harry Potter and a little bit of Highlander. And that's what the Vampire Lestat is.
Right.
And I think they would have gotten so much more out of it. But they easily could have made 3 films out of what's in that book. Easily.
Yeah, I mean, just with because you've got his recollections, his modern day, then the rock star thing. You have 3 distinct themes throughout that book.
Yeah, but it's his travels. You get his actual history from when he was born, his human life, what it's like to become a vampire, all his travels. Everything all the things that he did leading up to the events of Interview with a Vampire. So it's not that I forget the Vampire Diaries. It's just okay. Anyway,
literally, the Vampire Diaries are a nightmare from an author's point of view. But we can go into that at a different place. So. Anyways,
it's a real popcorn geek. I agree with you. The soundtrack for Queen of the Damned, it's a killer soundtrack, but that was the wrong move to make. They should have gone with the Vampire Lestat.
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah,
it is that time of the show.
Yeah, it is time. It is that time of the show. Oh man, we have such a good time discussing this. This is only part 1 of the 90s, kids. Next time
we're the first half of the 90s.
Yeah, so we'll be hitting 1995 and going right into the end of the decade in our next show. I hope everybody had a good time. Love the chat. You guys are always awesome in chat. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to contact us, email us, whatever. We're all online. You can find
Send
us.
us money.
Well, we won't turn money down, but
in 49 cents checks.
Send it to Gary. I got a 49-cent check.
Right. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Enough of that. This is the first. Enough of that will get you because my first book that I did indie, my Zombie Survivor, I was making 35 cents a copy off of. And let me tell you, you sell enough of those and you've got $1,000 paycheck.
Yay!
Which is so yeah.
Well, yeah, that's our show. I enjoy doing this every single time with you guys. You guys are most excellent to do this show with. And to everybody in the chat, I want to shout out Shanatsky, Tree Rock Creations, Apollomies Minion, Real Popcorn Geek, Anima Confusa, the lovely Anima Confusa, Tom Baker, Andy Morrow, and
Anima, thank you for keeping Gary in line.
And of course, the always awesome and incredible and very lovely Penny. It is a privilege to be able to do this for you guys, and an awesome honor and privilege to be able to work with these two of the best people that I could ever hope to work with doing this show, Ben and Martin. Doing this is just always fun for me. I truly look forward to doing this every Thursday. So if you want more, let us know. If not, then you'll be seeing Morning Coffee with Ben real soon. And,
that'll be a boring show. Talking about writing and shit. So.
People
from 12,000 subscribers to 12 subscribers.
Well, they're not all here to really follow me. It's really Martin, because he's the rock star. Martin is the rock star. But
He herds this pair of cats. So,
well, everybody, it has been a great day. You remember to have one for yourself, and we will catch you next week right here on Morning Coffee with Keith. So for myself, Martin, and Ben, we want to thank you and have a better day.
Take it easy, folks.
Well, see ya.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Thank you.